Hi, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, September 11th. Oh, it's September 11th, and it's 7:25 a.m. here in Chicago. This ain't nothing important at all, but everyone's talking about how, Jay-Z did Lil Wayne dirty. I feel stupid even talking about this with everything that's going on in the world. You know what? I'm not going to talk about that. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Did you guys see the girl who she's in New Haven, Connecticut? I used to live in Connecticut, but not for long. Did you guys see the girl who had to jump out of a cab on the highway because the woman was trying to traffic her? Remember, I did that video, and I'm sure I'm not the first person who has said it, but remember I did that video about how these women are just as dangerous as the men when it comes to kidnapping children, trafficking children, raping children, all of that. So this girl, she was in a Uber, a Lyft to be specific. She was in a Lyft, and she said she was so happy to see that it was a woman who came to get her. But no, she said it was a woman because I guess they sent the photo. But then they canceled her and sent a different woman. And so she's in the car getting a ride home, and the woman is speaking in another language. And the girl, she didn't say it, but she had it typed across the screen that the language sounded Turkish. It sounded Turkish. So she said the woman was speaking in her language, but then every few words she would use English. So the woman said, dark-skinned, red sweater. So the girl was thinking, hold up, I'm dark-skinned and I'm wearing a red sweater. I don't know what kind of language doesn't have a translation for red sweater or dark skin. That's weird to me. That means that the woman might have been talking to more than one person, because you can say that in any, I would think you can say dark skin, red sweater in any language, right? So why would she say it in English? I mean, it's a blessing from God that the girl was able to hear it. But what language is there no translation for that? So that has me thinking that this woman was talking to multiple people, and she had to say it in English for a person who might have been there. I don't know. Or maybe she was just that stupid to underestimate somebody, to underestimate the girl getting the ride. And so the girl definitely posted up after that. So the girl said when they got to her street where you're supposed to make a left, the girl said she even had signal to make a left because, it's a lift. And she did not make a left. She got back on the highway. And so the girl said, what are you doing? You missed my street. And the woman said, shut up. And the woman started speeding up. That girl jumped her ass out of the car on the highway. Her face was all bruised up, but she healed. And she said she is still traumatized by that. She is still traumatized. There's a lot of, she said the woman sounded Turkish, but she knew the woman was like from another country. I don't know if you remember, I made the video talking about when I was a kid. I was a lot younger than this girl because I was only about like 12. And these two foreigners came up in a van. They definitely sounded Russian or from somewhere over there. But remember, I was a kid, so it could have been any one of those countries over there. But she definitely pulled up on me, tried to give me a ride to school. I was like, no, thank you. I was a kid. And she was like, are you sure? Are you sure? You get there faster. And I'm looking in the car, and the guy at the wheel, not only does he look very serious, he would not look at me. And that's why I was scared to get in that car. Because you know how your parents teach you, Don't trust anybody who can't look at you. And he was the reason I wouldn't get in the car. And he probably figured if he looked at me, I would get more afraid because he's a man. That probably was true too. I had no business even contemplating it, but I was a kid. And so they were foreigners too. So there are a lot of foreigners in this country trying to traffic people. Because if I know my personal testimony, now I hear this girl in New Haven saying it, that's one person knowing of two people. I'm sorry, I know that's not enough data, but that tells me that there are a lot of foreigners in this country trafficking people. And remember on social media, the black woman that was in the nail salon, and she caught some Asian man in the nail salon. She caught the woman in the nail salon snapping her daughter's picture and sending it to a man who was on the screen. She caught everything. And when she called the police, they claimed they couldn't do anything about it. So, foreigner number 3. And, I'm not saying no Americans are involved, because of course they're involved. Everybody's involved. But why all the situations I know of personally or I've heard of, why do they always involve foreigners, So, I'm telling you, I remember I was way too young for my sister to tell me this. I was way too young for my sister to tell me this. But I remember I was a little kid looking up at my sister like a kid wanting candy. And she's looking down at me saying, if you ever knew the secrets that this country and the CIA had, you would go crazy. And I was a kid. But it's true. Like, why are all these foreigners over here trafficking children? Maybe the country knows exactly why they're over here, to traffic children, so that the country can, have all of these fundraisers and all these awareness groups and all these organizations. All that stuff spells money, I wouldn't be surprised if the country was in on it. And why did Lyft cancel the first lady and then send a second lady? Maybe Lyft is in on it. Why did they cancel? I mean, it's possible, but you're going to cancel one lady for another lady, for a girl who is alone. Why? Because you want to make sure she gets a lady? Why do you need to make sure she gets a lady? So that you can put her guard down? Maybe Lyft is in on it, So that should, and by the way, that story is very, very, very recent. I recently saw that it was either TikTok or Instagram. I'll even try and find it. But yes, that shit is happening. You guys better make sure you tell every young female and male in your family, don't put your guard down just because it's a woman. A woman doing it, that only gives you a little bit of extra time to have a better chance at getting away, because you have a better chance of fighting off a woman, But what if she's packing? What if she puts a gun to your face? I would still risk getting away. She's going to have to kill me. But kids aren't going to think like that. They're going to stop at that gun in their face. They're not going to risk their life, So make sure every young person not just family members, knows that it's these women out here getting the trust of these children and trafficking these children. But that's all. Have a good day, everyone.